heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can make.
Yes, sir. Black Coast. It's your boy Shadow Ghost. Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked. And today, man, we are getting closer and closer to Canelo Alvarez versus Caleb Plant, undisputed at 168. But before I get into all that and other boxing talk, I'm an underground channel, and a lot of people that I talk to aren't really like, they haven't been watching boxing their whole life. Some of them have just started watching boxing, you know what I mean? And a lot of people have been asking me lately, especially in the past week, like, yo, Shadow, what are some of the channels that you can direct me to that I could watch? Like, what are some good channels? And today I'm gonna give you a list of channels that Shadow Ghost watches, but it's in no particular order. Number one is not better than the last is not better than the first. I watch these channels. Some of them I know personally, but also they all have different, not all of them I know, but some of them I know personally as a content creator, but they all have different things in it. Like, they're different, you know what I mean? And it's like, if you like this, then you go to this channel. If you like this, you go to this channel. So in no particular order, I'm gonna start off with the Boxing Voice. The Boxing Voice to me is like the news outlet, bro. Like, they are on at the same time, all the time. They talk about current boxing events, anything that's going on currently in boxing, and if you want to know what's gonna be going on, because there's a lot of times I get information from the Boxing Voice, and I don't even recall many times where they've said something and it didn't happen. They have prospects on there, they have coaches on there, they have champions on there, they have different content creators on there. The Boxing Voice is on at a certain time. They also have a thing called Border Wars, which is like, if you want to box yourself, hit them up. It's sort of like a YouTube thing, you know, people that just love boxing and want to get in the ring and scrap it up. You know, if you want to do that, man, hit up the Boxing Voice. And if you want to box somebody, bro, they can set it up. It's called Border Wars, I believe it is. But the Boxing Voice to me, man, is like, I go there for a lot of content and to get a lot of information, because just because I'm on top of boxing and I read news articles, stuff like that, it's still a great source of information. So shout out to the Boxing Voice. Head over there, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Second, Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Drunk is a character, bro. This guy is he's very funny. He's very I would say, like, it's never a dull time watching him, you know what I mean? There's a lot of controversy on his channel sometimes. He also interviews prospects, and he interviews champions and people that have titles or people that are going to be getting titles. You've seen Teofimo Lopez on there. You've seen Boo Boo Andre on there. I think he interviewed Michelle Rivera. He's interviewed a lot of people. He's another great content creator. I know him personally. If you go on his channel, sometimes you'll see me on the panel. He has a thing called Karaoke Thursdays, where, like, he'll drop the link, but you can't get on the link unless you, like, freestyle or recite a song or something like that. That's why it's called Karaoke Thursdays, but it's different. You see what I'm saying? So Punch is another good channel that I watch. A good friend of mine, MAJORKEY Boxing. MAJORKEY Boxing is another underground channel. But if you want to know about boxing history, bro, this guy has had former champions on there like Simon Brown, Julian the Hawk Jackson, DeMarcus Chop Corley. He has a thing called Coach's Corner, I think it is, where you have trainers that have coached different fighters in the past and stuff like that. And the good thing about it is if he's interviewing a fighter, he'll drop the link. You can come in and you can ask that fighter a question. And so I've been on there plenty of times. I like asking fighters. For some reason, I like asking them, you know, what do you eat after a weigh-in, or how is the weight cut? Anything you want to ask a fighter of what they go through in fight camp, that is a great opportunity to do that. So shout out to MAJORKEY. Go over there and check him out. H Money is another character, bro. He's funny as hell. To me, I know him personally. He's grown over the year, man. This guy, let me tell you something about this channel. If you want to be on a panel and you want to talk, like, so if you want to get on yourself, this is a great channel to do that. There's times where I come home and I've had a long day and I go to sleep. I wake up, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to talk boxing. Nobody's live at 2 o'clock in the morning. H Money's live at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's live in the afternoon. He's live in the morning. He's live in the evening. Sometimes if he can't be on the panel, he'll have somebody else doing his panel. He'll let you come on there and say what you got to say. As long as you're not race baiting or causing any disruption, saying anything offensive, you can go on there. There's other content creators on there too. There's many boxing fans on there that don't have a channel but feel like they want to say what they want to say. H Money is a great channel for that, so shout out to H Money. Black and Brown Boxing. Black and Brown Boxing is another content creator that I know. He has something called Free Smoke Fridays. Now beware of that. Listen to the title of that, Free Smoke Fridays. He'll let you on the panel. He's a nice guy. He ain't gonna attack you. You can say whatever you want to say. In fact, you can get away with more on Black and Brown than you would on H Money, because Free Smoke Friday, the whole topic is, you know, come get the smoke. Whatever you say, if somebody disagrees, it's gonna be let known on that channel. So as far as like beginners, I'm not saying like be scared, bro. You're a grown man. If you want to go on the internet and talk, go on the internet and talk. But it's a little bit different, you know what I mean? This guy goes to fights too. He's also been recently going to fights. His channel has grown throughout the past year. He puts out great consistent content. So go over there and head out, check out Black and Brown Boxing. Another channel that I like to watch, HCP, G Funky, D Styles. Don't let the name fool you. Hispanics cause panic. They're just proud of their people. Don't feel like, oh, I see a lot of people that say it, especially in the comment section, oh, look at your name, you're just talking about Latino boxers. No, that's not the case. In fact, they have a thing called the round table where you see other content creators on there, good content creators. Ringside Reporter, another great channel. Maestro knows a lot about boxing. Go check out Maestro's channel. HCP, they have a lot of content. They also interview fighters. They interview trainers. That's another channel that is consistent on a certain day at a certain time. These guys know their boxing. Go check out HCP. Another boxing channel, if you want a UK perspective, you can always go and head over to WRAPSTAR. I think his channel is, I think it's UK 47. I'm not sure about that, but head over to WRAPSTAR Knowledge. He's over in the UK. He has his own UK perspective, but don't get it twisted. He knows a lot about what goes on over here in America, but it's good to have other people from all over the different world to have their perspective, because boxing is an international sport. His times is a little bit more like, it's not set, you know what I mean? You just got to hit that notification bell and just see when he goes live and go on there. He'll also drop the link and let you go on there and talk in his channel. Now some channels that I actually don't know the guys personally. Let me see. SHOWBIZZ. SHOWBIZZ is a great channel. This guy is very entertaining, bar none, different from every channel. The good thing about him, or the different thing about him, is you don't see other content creators on there. It's just him. You always get SHOWBIZZ on there. Now SHOWBIZZ won't let you drop the link and come on and talk like these other channels do, but he's very entertaining. He makes good edited videos. He live streams fights. A lot of these channels live stream fights, by the way, so you can check out these channels and they live stream fights. But SHOWBIZZ is another guy that's grown tremendously in the past year, bro. I mean, his followers is getting higher and higher and higher. IBFP, that's a controversial channel, but I like the guy. A lot of things I don't agree with him. He calls fighters that are lower opposition, like the journeyman, he'll call them grocery store clerks, or this guy's fighting, you know, my grandma and stuff like that. It's kind of funny actually, but he is very entertaining, and he does have boxing knowledge, you know what I mean? By the way, as far as being biased, I've always said I don't feel like any channel is not biased to a certain extent. You know, y'all know who my favorite fighters are. I say it all the time. Chris Colbert, Jerron and his boots, Teofimo Lopez. If Chris Colbert has a close fight, I'm probably going to lean towards Chris Colbert, but I'm never going to cap. Like, if any of my fighters ever lose, no excuses, best man won, but I'm always going to support him. That's what I mean by bias. I don't feel like anybody is 100% not biased, especially when it comes to their favorite fighters or the people that they're interviewing on their channel, you know what I mean? But a lot of these guys, they love boxing, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to recommend you to go over there for if I feel like you're not going to get anything out of it, you know what I mean? Some other channels that these guys that I personally know, but they're underground channels like me. You have Pound for Pound Boxing. You have What Rep It. Shout out to What Rep It. What Rep It, by the way, is a channel. This guy, man, he reached out to me when he wanted to start his channel. He didn't know me from nowhere and just wanted to ask me about things. He's a real good dude. Matter of fact, I have an issue sometimes when I go live. I like making pre-recorded videos, but it's something about the live. Like, a lot of people say, yo, Shadow, go live more, go live more. I just, something about the live, like being live, like, it's not that I'm nervous or anything like that. It's I gotta pay attention to the people in the comments. If I'm on StreamYard, I gotta put up the content and all that. And it's not being lazy. It's just I don't feel as comfortable as making a pre-recorded video. What Rep It, a lot of times when I did go, he encouraged me to go live. He would always be like, hey, listen, I'll go on live with you. So, you know, while you taking care of things, I can keep it going. I can keep it taught, you know, instead of me just stopping the conversation. So shout out to What Rep It, man. That is another underground channel. Listen, whoever you watch, as long as you watch them and you getting food, boxing food, like they say when you go to church, spiritual food, as long as you getting food, man, and you being fed and it entertains you, that's the channel that you should go to, man. But shout out to these channels, man. I fucks with all these channels, and a lot of them I know, you know what I mean, but some of them I don't know. Like I said, I don't know Showbiz, I don't know IBFP, I don't know Ness from the Boxing Voice, although some of the guys that I talk to know Ness. But moving on to Canelo versus Plant, I want to talk about this because as this fight gets closer, you know, I see a lot of people saying like Canelo's gonna wash this guy, right? I'm in agreement as far as I feel like Canelo's gonna win this fight. But there's a difference. People like to compare Caleb Plant to Saunders, and I'm gonna say I see the similarities, but let me tell you what's different. You know, Caleb Plant has been through a lot of things in his life as far as like losing his daughter. We've all had hard times or whatever, but believe me when I say this, me being a veteran, me being you know, losing my parents, I'm not ashamed to say it because it's something that I've been through. It helped me grow as a man. I went to the military. Things that you go through in your personal life, they do help you in other aspects of life. And some people say, well, how does that help Caleb Plant? Well, because he's fighting for a purpose, you know what I mean? Like losing his daughter, like now he's like, bro, I'm gonna do this for her, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's a difference between that. Between Saunders, to me, quit on the stool. He quit. Now he may not have verbally quit, but he didn't contest it. When they stopped the fight, he didn't say, hey man, yo, like I want to keep going. He didn't do that. Whereas Caleb Plant, I don't see Caleb Plant quitting. You're gonna have to knock him out. You're gonna have to beat him down, or his corner is gonna have to throw the towel in. I do maybe see a knockout in the later rounds, maybe Canelo knocking him out, but I actually am leaning more towards a decision as this fight gets closer and closer. If you look at Showtime, they've been showing the behind the scenes of when they're training. They've been simulating Canelo, and when he throws his jab, they want Caleb Plant to throw the jab at the same time and to parry it and catch Canelo. You can see that on Showtime. So you already see what he's trying to do. He's going to try to out-jab Canelo, which to me is a main thing that you need to do. Caleb's got a great jab. He's going to have to use his jab. Canelo, you see him switching to southpaw in this camp. And this goes to show you that the respect that these guys have for each other. They may not like each other, but they both know that they both a problem to deal with. Now, Canelo has done more in his former career. He's still young. When I mean former, I mean like when he was younger. He's done more in his first 30 fights than Caleb has done in his whole career. But to me, I feel like Caleb Plant, just watching him, he says, you know, words, I can't show you with words. I gotta show you with action. Nobody believes I'm gonna beat this guy. He does have the toolbox, the tools in the toolbox to beat Canelo. But the one thing that I have to disagree with a lot of people is a lot of people say, well, Canelo has a problem with slick fighters. Let's look at that for a second. When he fought Floyd, possibly the greatest fighter of all time at that point, yes, he got beat, but it was the best thing that ever happened to him. And since he's fought slick fighters after that, he's gotten better and better and better. When he fought Jacobs, to me, he beat him, even though that looked more of like a serious type sparring fight. He beat him. Saunders, he decimated him. You see what I'm saying? So these slick fighters that they're saying that is Canelo's weakness, he's only lost to one. He's only lost to Floyd. Whether you think the questionable fights with Triple G, who to me is not a slick fighter, he's an aggressive fighter, he cuts off the ring. But every fighter has had controversial fights where people, Floyd has had controversial fights where people thought that McDonald won, you know, the first fight or whatever. It doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, the judges gave it to that guy, and he's only lost to Floyd. Ever since then, to me, every slick fighter that he's fought, he's getting better and better and better, and he knows Caleb is a slick fighter. He knows he's going to try to out-jab him. He's switching his southpaw. Looks like he's working on a lot of body shots, liver shots, and I think he's going to break him down to the body. I see Caleb Plant winning the first 4 rounds of this fight because I feel like Canelo he reminds me of Money Mayweather, not in the way that he fights, but his mentality. Whereas the first 4 rounds, he'll let you win that because he wants to see how your foot movement is. He wants to see how your combinations are. He wants to see how your jab is. You know, he wants to see how you're setting things up, and then he starts downloading that information, and then he starts breaking you down. And I feel like in the 4th or 5th round, Caleb Plant's going to get hit with something that's going to make him hesitant. But for instance, like if you're throwing a check left hook and you keep throwing a check left hook and you're having success with that, but then all of a sudden you get countered when you're throwing your check left hook with like an uppercut or something like that, or a body shot, you're going to be hesitant to throw that check hook because now that guy has caught on to you. And I feel like Caleb Plant, he's going to get caught with something. It's going to make him hesitant, but it's going to bring the dog out of Caleb. And I feel like Caleb does have a little bit of dog. When he fought Uskadegi, he knocked Uskadegi down twice, but Uskadegi came back later on in the fight, and he actually rocked Caleb, and Caleb had to bite down. Now, mind you, that's Uskadegi's not a Canelo, but still, you saw a little bit of dog in Plant. And I feel like this is going to be a closer fight than a lot of people expect it to be. As far as like another good underrated fight to me is Rolly versus Tank. It's not a pay-per-view fight. This is what the WBA has done. They've started listening to the people. People said there was too many belts, so now they took away all the intern belts. Whoever had an intern belt becomes the mandatory. My man Chris Colbert was in talks with Gary Russell, but now he's mandated to fight Gutierrez for the WBA strap. Rolly's mandated to fight Tank. Ugas, a lot of people upset about Ugas having a unification with Spence. Now Stanionis is mandated to fight Ugas. So they're listening to the people, but now some of the people have a problem with it. It's like, you know, no matter what you do, some people aren't going to be happy. But Rolly and Tank, Rolly is an awkward fighter. It's just like awkwardness can be like a good thing, and it could be your weakness. Look at Shakur Stevenson versus Nakataya, if I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Nakataya was a very awkward fighter, but he was a power puncher, and it threw Shakur off, and some people thought Shakur looked bad in that fight, but he was hesitant because of the awkwardness. Rolly, to me, doesn't have great ring IQ. He's not a great boxer. I think his jab is a little bit lazy to me, but he throws every punch with full force, bro, and he walks forward and he tries to break you down, and he's awkward with his looping shots. Although I feel like his shots can be telegraphed, when you're throwing looping shots like that. Another example, going back to Shakur versus Herring. Herring had a high guard, and Shakur went over the high guard with looping shots. It was catching him in the ear. Those looping shots, sometimes it's hard to block when you're throwing looping shots. I still feel like Tank is going to knock him out, but I think it's an underrated fight. A lot of people are disappointed with this fight. Some people saying they're not going to pay for it. Me, I support boxing. I don't think it's the greatest competition that Tank can have, but salute to Rolly for taking that fight like that, bro. A lot of people like to put this narrative out that people are ducking Tank, people don't want to fight Tank, this and that. Rolly took that like that. The WBA said, hey, we're mandating you to fight Tank. He said, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? And I heard that he's not even getting paid what he's supposed to be getting paid to fight Tank. So it is what it is, man. This is how boxing is. Boxing is getting greater and greater, man. It's getting better and better. I love boxing, bro. It's my favorite sport next to the NFL. Listen, tell me what y'all think in the comment section as far as like the channels that I recommended. If there's any other channels that you recommend, put it in the comment section, and I'll actually make another video and shout out that channel if I feel like it's not like a race baiting narrative type of channel. You know, and let's get it twisted, man. Not every boxing channel is for you. You know, that's why I said check them out. I'm not telling you to subscribe to these channels. I'm saying check them out, see if you like them, and if you like them, then subscribe to them. You know what I mean? Just like some people don't like my channel, it is what it is. You don't like my channel, it is what it is. I mean, I can't change who I am or how my formula is, but I know that these channels that I named all have a different formula, and one of them might be better for you to watch. You know what I mean? But with that, this is Shadow Ghost, and be there on November 6th. Also, later on tonight, Delorme versus Boots. My guy Boots is fighting. Jamal James is fighting. Michelle Rivera. You have Sabeda fighting over there at Top Rank. I like to stream both fights. I have one on the computer, one on the TV, and I have the app so I can rewatch them later. But man, listen, man, I salute to everybody that loves boxing, bro. Head out to those channels that I talked about. Don't forget to be there November 6th. History is gonna happen. 168 undisputed. Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez. Tell me who you got. This Shadow Ghost, and I'm out.